Got an old guitar, got a fine cigar. Slow down a bit, get a lit, and let the blues lay where they are. 'Cause the blues some days, they won't let go. They won't let go. But it's Saturday, we're at the shop today. Let's celebrate, light up an anime, raise a toast, watch the blues go up in smoke. Watch the blues go up in smoke.
What up, Pops? How are you doing this morning there, kiddo?
Well, I'm doing fine. How are you doing this morning?
As we put it in the old folks' home, nifty.
Nifty, huh?
Yep, we're nifty.
Okay.
I have really enjoyed our friend Georgie as he's learning English, to give him all of these old school things. So, like I said, hey Georgie, when somebody says, how are you doing? You just say, nifty. So then he's like, nifty. And then, so then I go, the other day I walked in and I go, hey man, how you doing today? He goes, hunky dory.
Who told him that?
Not me, I'm probably Grady.
Hunky dory.
That sounds like something Grady would do.
I like that. Good morning, Larry Adams. Good morning. Good morning. This is Saturday at the shop.
Saturday at the shop. We're coming to you from Industrial Cigar Company in Frisco, Texas. If you see kids walking around here, we don't know where their parents are, so just
Come on
bear
through,
with
little
us.
child.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's talk
Nothing
about.
could go right.
No, blame anyone.
By the way, if you're coming to us from a foreign country like Chicago or LaGrange, Missouri, let us know. We'll say good morning to you in your native tongue.
That we sure will.
We will.
All right, Pops, what are we going to talk about on today's show?
Anime closed from 1 to 6. That's such a shitty headline. It's just like a
Do your turn.
It's watch this. Go ahead. Father's Day Central. See how that has a thing. It has a flow. New and old back in stock.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Nice. What is a strap hanger anyway? It sounds like something you would find at Frank's cabin.
A strap hanger?
Yeah. No. Go.
That's it?
And Analog Fridays.
Oh.
Yes. And other stuff.
And other stuff too.
Yeah.
All right, we've got one ahead of us. Good morning, Pops. What's happening?
Well, it's a beautiful Saturday. Friends the Smiths came all the way down, not from Plano, not from Allen.
Not even from Texas.
Not even from Texas, just stumbled in from Oklahoma.
Ardmore,
Oklahoma to come in.
It's always great seeing them. It is. Thank you so much for being here.
They come in, they've been, for years now, 4 or 5 years, they've been coming down and...
Probably longer than that. The first anniversary. They've been here 7 years.
7 years, yeah. Coming down from Oklahoma. So for those of you that go, I don't want to go all the way up to 121, just north of 121, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. No, they are.
Appreciate you guys coming in. This is their first chance to see the lounge completed.
That's right.
It was good.
A little bit different.
Yeah.
A little bit different. Good morning, Kelly Haney.
Craig's now retired. So.
Is that for real? You're retired?
Yeah, well,
Congratulations.
I haven't seen anybody successfully retire. Mm-hmm. I noticed like our friend James Collins.
That's a good-looking Indian.
It is.
Motorcycle. Indian motorcycle. It's not an Indian walking in the
No.
parking lot. Maybe in Ardmore. There might be some Indians walking around in parking lots up there, but
yeah,
that's that's it. Frank Tomaszewski, what's up, dog? What's up, Marty? What's happening? All right. What are you smoking this morning?
Did this guy steal his motorcycle and just driving around the building or what?
I do like that bike.
I would still not ride a motorcycle on the street, ever.
No. I had just getting on from El Dorado, getting onto the access road, I had someone pull wide and cut me off in the second lane. So I hit the brakes, and then they move, they get out of the way. Someone pulls out of Target directly in front of me,
Makes
hit the
sense.
brakes, and then someone pulls from Crushed Taco directly in front of you. That was 1, 2, 3 on the way here. And
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is an omen
Yeah.
on how this is
Just
gonna
think
work.
if you had a motorcycle.
That's exactly the point. If I was on a motorcycle, I wouldn't be here right now, which may or may not be a good thing. But
That looked like Ron Hancock in that car. I was just.
yeah, I did.
It did.
Yeah, I did for
I'm
sure.
like, when did he get?
What are you smoking again?
Well, this kind of goes to my point of a new and old back in the vault. You're actually smoking something
That's an old.
that was backed by popular demand. Our customers had requested that we bring some of the Aladinos back into the barn, and this and the Cameroon and the Connecticut.
Yes. And Aladino it's a line that I don't know why for a while there, it was really strong and then it just kind of, I think it's probably not as sexy as the rest of the new cigars that have come out. So
Right.
it's easy to go back. Like Illusione suffered from the same thing.
Yep.
Illusione, fantastic cigars. Fantastic cigars. I love them. But from a fishing lure standpoint, it doesn't quite grab your eye enough to continue to go back. And then when you have lines like, Alfonso that's coming out, you've got the new Crux stuff.
The
you've
Crux
got
packaging killed it.
a number of different things, right? Those things all pop, and then all of a sudden, this doesn't look as pretty on the lounge, in the humidor.
Yeah.
But the Aladino, I'm smoking the Cameroon this morning. I love it. It's a little bit acidic. It's smooth. It's easy going. It works great with coffee. It really is an anytime cigar.
And I'm smoking the new Gold Star cigar that comes to us from our friends at United Cigars. This was a cigar we tried. It tested out really well, and they just got on the floor this week.
I smoked that yesterday. That's a Robusto?
Yep.
I liked it. I liked it, and it did need a couple days to acclimate because Mike
It
smoked
still
it.
does.
It still does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike smoked it. He's like, I don't know about this one. It's like, well, try this. Oh, completely different. So
Yeah.
that one's kind of taming down.
They just hit. So they need to acclimate to our humidity and our temperature, and that's the tip of the day. If you get some cigars off the internet, first of all, you shouldn't do that unless you buy it from us.
IndustrialCigars.com.
Because with us, our cigars that we ship to you come out of our humidor versus coming out of a warehouse that has the dock doors open in typically Florida, where it's usually nice and humid.
Yes.
And then it sits in a UPS truck for 3 or 4 days, gets nice and toasty, and it gets to your store, gets to your home. Put it in the humidor, put it in an empty box, and just let it sit for a few days and let it acclimate to the air conditioning, the humidity, and everything.
That's right. Or just smoke them. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Do whatever the hell you
What are
want
you
to
gonna
do. It doesn't really matter. You can get yourself into some trouble overthinking cigars. But if you don't want to overthink cigars, we have two right here that will allow you to not overthink them.
So talk
Right
about
here,
no
you're not going
brainer.
to see this through the cello, but this is the Katie Canyon PR49. This is Mark
It
McClurkin's
might
line.
be one of the hottest cigars out there right now. Between that, the two lines that are up and coming, and for those shops, we know that there's a number of shops that are out here that watch us on a weekly basis. Thank you, by the way. But I'm telling you, Katie Cigars,
Do it.
do it, and Definition Cigars,
Do it. Do it.
do it and do it. Both these lines are hot. Our friends in Nebraska just brought them in. This product is really, really well done. And when you have a cigar that's made by with Jamont Hackley and Luciano, that's a winner. And then you have Mark McClurkin working with Sebastian at Cavalier, that's a winner.
That is it. And I think that's what we're seeing in the industry is the biggest change that I've seen over the past couple of years is the killers are with two minds on the same vision. Right? I think that's where you really start seeing things pop. I don't think you've seen anything come out that is, even look at the new Nelson. The new Nelson is a killer, but that's Nelson and his son. And I think that age of one master blender doing one thing, it's just not going to last much longer.
Well, and think about it. At some point, it would be no different than a restaurant using the same chef. That same chef over the years is still going to stay in that same flavor profile. So Steve Saka and some of these guys, they're great blenders, but their stuff stays in a lane, in a particular lane. And very rarely do you see guys hopping out. Sometimes when they do, your friends at EPC jumped out and did a Connecticut. That's their way of saying, we're going to jump out into where the kind of the mainstream is at and see what happens.
Yeah.
But for all intents and purposes, what we see is they still blend to a certain.
100%. They'll have their palate. Good morning. Good morning. They definitely do have their palate, and this fine lines that are bringing minds together, because that's really how it is there.
For sure.
I'm going to make a hard pivot because
Okay.
I just saw this by my feet, and I don't think we had it, and I'm going to forget about it.
Okay.
You check out the new race team gear.
I did.
Elias, if I can find my son walking around here, is wearing the race team hat. But I've been geared up on this old school golf racing lately.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to steal it because not technically a company anymore, so I'm not going to get any trademark issues.
No.
So we've got this new race kit backpack. It's up on the site. It's cool as hell. It's got this little racing flag on the bottom. Inside, it's got a slot for laptop.
Laptop, yeah.
On the back side, you can put your cigars and all that stuff in there.
Yep.
But this is just a cool little thing here. It's up on the site. We also have a hat that goes along with it, kind of an old school retro rope hat. And then check out the one in there.
Well, I showed you that old school golf racing.
That's what made me think of it. That's why I did this.
At that, I took a picture of that, and that was an original.
That's like a Steve McQueen version, right?
Yep.
So I saw that and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna run with this. So I'm thinking I'm gonna rip off basically all of the trademark-free old school racing styles.
yeah.
We're just gonna create a whole thing.
Yeah. Look at the old vintage. There was a brand called. There was an F1 car called Elf
The 6-wheel.
that had 6 wheels. There was one that Mario Andretti drove that was black and gold, and it was, I'll remember the name of it, but it was something that represented a real high-end brand.
Okay.
I don't remember, but I remember the color of the car. And actually, one of the coolest things, that first F1 race that I went to, they did a vintage F1 race.
I remember this.
With all of the original cars. The Elf car was there, all of them, and they went out and did their thing.
Yep.
I thought that was really cool.
I thought so as well. And it's just kind of that season because we are trading out soccer, thank the Lord, with go-kart racing now. So we're going to be the only kids go-karting team that is going to be a cigar-driven team.
Yes, I think
It worked for Marlboro.
I think it makes perfect sense. It does, and I think it makes perfect sense to have a 5-year-old kid's go-kart that has industrial cigars on
I'm
it.
trying to create a James Hunt. I'm not trying to create anybody else. I
Yeah.
want somebody who's punching Marshalls. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
Oh, Oliver's daughter is currently at 24 Hours at Le Mans.
Oh, very cool.
That would be super cool.
I think is the kid's coach? Is he racing in Le Mans?
He did 24 Hours at Daytona last week.
Okay.
And DJ's coming in. It reminds called Speed Racer. Absolutely still remember the Speed Racer.
Speed Racer, that's a winner.
That is, you know,
That
we
maybe
should-
you theme Alessia's after Speed
after
Racer.
Speed Racer. That is a good idea.
Because you still have to theme that one out.
But we're going to start doing some shows from the track here, probably this fall.
Yeah.
This fall, maybe early next spring when they start racing.
Yeah, I'm excited because we did get the kids into go-karting, competition go-karting, and both Elias 5, Alessia 8, they both got carts this week, and they're getting ready to do some racing. Well, this proud father, just a couple of days before Father's Day, is letting the kids run around the parking lot in their go-karts, and we have a recorded evidence of you telling them, slow down.
I did.
And now you're going to spend the rest of your life going, faster, faster, faster.
Well, look, once they figure the difference between, we're still figuring out.
Gas,
Throughout-
just
Elias
races for suckers.
But Elias has been in the sim.
Yeah.
And Elias also, 5 years old, kicked JB's ass in the sim.
That's
Not even close.
That's awesome.
Right? And JB, full adult, he was working to beat the 5-year-old, not even close.
not even close.
But the problem is when you're gas, you can just dip brakes on there because it's there. But Daddy's not paying for brakes and clutches on the sim.
Yeah, no,
So it is faster. But then when he's trying to take corners like that and holding down, hold it here.
Yeah, Dad doesn't want to replace brakes.
No, not yet. Not yet. You got to go fast enough to replace those.
Brakes are for suckers. That's really what it boils
Let's
down
talk ICC stuff.
to. Yeah, let's do.
It's Father's Day coming up.
Father's Day
tomorrow.
Central. This is Father's Day, the day before or the day of Father's Day is kind of our day after Thanksgiving. It is the day where all of the family members go, well, shit, what are we going to get Dad? Let's go get him some cigar stuff. And we sell everything but the front counter over the next couple of days. So come on in. We've got.
I'm glad you.
We've got the Cybertruck lighter. Interestingly enough, we have this lighter that's shaped like the Tesla Cybertruck, and it runs on batteries. You light it with a battery starter.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I am really happy with the Lotus and
The Lotus lighters, and we just got a ton of them in. The cutter, their cutter is spectacular. This GT series that has the backstop so you don't cut your cigar too deep. And when I say sharp, these things are sharp.
yeah, yeah.
So there's
and
no
they're a great
damage.
value too. Just when you
You
feel it
can't
in your
spend
hand.
$100.
Yeah, that's
what's
the thing.
crazy. It's $50 all day long.
When you hold it, you think 110, 120. You feel the action, and then you find out it's at 50, 60.
Yeah.
So it's a really easy way to do it. I think it's just a killer. And then cigar-wise, the Nelsons, I don't want to talk too much because we only have maybe we have 6 left.
Yeah, we had 40 last Saturday.
It's really good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
And this package here comes with the first ever release ever of the Nelson cigar. You get 5 in these beautiful tubes. I love that color scheme. That brass.
I just love it.
It's beautiful.
Oh, we got Doug coming in from Cabo.
Oh, nice. They are. I lost track because I'm trying to figure out which. How many margaritas is Doug in?
I hope he's not just one in.
I hope.
Doug,
oh, no.
how many margaritas in
Yeah.
are you in?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's 2 hours behind, so he could be on the first one because it's 8:51.
Oh yeah, but it's Cabo.
It's 8:51 though. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many margaritas in are you?
Yeah,
Let us know.
I'm just curious.
And if it's
no,
one,
knowing Doug, he's out deep sea fishing right now. So
man, there's some good rooster fishing out there.
there is. So let's go from rooster fishing to the fact that this comes with a porcelain with gold, 24 karat gold porcelain ashtray, not ceramic, porcelain. This whole package is like $170.
Yeah, it's a killer, and the cigar is just fantastic. Just
It
let's
is-
not look. It's
Look, I
they're all
can tell
gone.
you that I like the cigar, and I think I use the word stunning. It is a stunning cigar.
That's
and
right.
And now one of our members, Elliot Hammerman, has bought one package of these every day for the last 3 days.
and he smoked them all.
And he came in, he goes, well, I think I got the last ones. And then when I came in today, I saw that we still had 10, and then now we're down to 6.
We've been open for 52 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He's Doug is putting Carajeto. That's Carajillo.
Carajillo.
That's Carajillo.
That's what he calls it.
Carajeto.
Carajeto, yeah.
I love. We need like a bathroom table book of Doug's translations
Yeah.
with like when they put the phonetic language
Yeah.
next to it.
Yeah.
Carajillo. Carajito.
Yeah.
Yes. Texican for alcohol and coffee.
Davidoff.
That's exactly.
Davidoff.
Enjoy. Make sure you get Así y Asado Tacos by the go-kart track. It's just to the north of Cabo San Lucas.
Yep.
Go check it out. Try the green
Unbelievable.
salsa and use it
Unbelievable.
sparingly.
It
Yeah,
is unbelievable.
Those are the real deal. And get the chorizo. Thank me later.
Yeah.
What else are we hitting? Oh, Analog Fridays. I've been so bummed, but I know what I'm bringing. I told you about that yesterday.
Yes, and it's we live in a digital world, obviously. We live in this digital world,
And you're just a digital girl.
and we're just a digital girl. So, living in this digital world, we realized that there was a group of guys that are into music. I kind of grew up as a professional in the electronics industry, selling audio and video equipment, and so I naturally became into audio. But we used these things that were called records. They're made of vinyl. And so we started talking about it, And interestingly enough, you were able to take our digital system and plug an analog turntable in. And on Friday nights from 6:30 to close, we are back there with stacks of vinyl.
Your kitchen is full.
It's full. And it's nothing compared to what these other guys are bringing. So we got 6 or 7 guys that are all bringing in. At the beginning of the week, we pick a genre, and then everybody will bring that genre in. So yesterday was kind of 70s, 80s, kind of classic R&B. There was a lot of Marvin Gaye. There was a lot of that stuff going on. We start picking it up at 10, so we had like Prince and some of those. But you forget, some of these bands, you forget 2, 3, 4 songs in, you're like, oh, that was them? And there's that element to it. And then we had a young man, DJ, Dedrick, who touched his first vinyl record last night.
You are kidding me.
And Mo was explaining where the different songs were on the record, and he was like, but how do you fast forward? We're like, you get your ass up and you move it over to the next one. This is called analog. So it's I walked through the space last night about 9 o'clock. I had multiple people going, hey, are you guys playing records?
I'm glad you said that, because you can tell the difference.
You can tell the difference.
It's so much more round, and everything we play, obviously digital, is clean, it's crisp, but
it's compressed.
It is compressed.
Yeah.
And I always thought it was just hipster talk when they're like, oh, it's so much better. Immediately when that needle hits, you can feel the difference.
And
I want to put some on.
We can, and it sounds great, but to have people, as you're walking through, people are like, are you playing records? And we're like, yep, that's what we're doing on Friday nights. And one of the guys like, well, then I'm getting the word out, because that was they thought that was.
How old is DJ? He said he's 90s baby, but he's never held vinyl. And Kelly is saying he's never touched a cassette. We used to sit at the cassette and record the radio.
Record the radio. Yeah.
Jim Schrader, show them 8 tracks. What up, Jimmy? Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, if they saw a floppy disk, they'd probably lose their mind.
Yeah.
This used to be a hard drive.
How much memory was on a 3.5?
Oh, I mean, you get 6.
What is it?
On a 3, that was a 3 1/4 inch, though. Actually, 5 1/4 was actually less. Yeah.
1 meg.
1 meg.
Less than a song.
Yeah.
Less than the intro of a song at this point. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, everyone. I love the idea. I'm so glad that it's panning out. It's just nice and simple. That's what I think we're finding out is success is doing things that are just nice and simple, right in the pocket.
Yep.
The Dad's Group is super successful. The Barrel Age Society, which is coming up, I think, next Saturday.
Yeah. I will say this. One of the things we have a back room. That's a lot of guys use for private meetings or just to chill.
I got the first part of the wax job done.
Yeah. I think what we'll do is we'll let that bake in the sun.
Yeah.
And then maybe he's going for a camouflage look.
Hold it.
Yeah, he knows.
What is happening?
He knows he's not done.
Yeah.
Just for those of you that have waxed a dark gray car before, usually you don't rub the wax on and then leave.
Dry when it's 90 degrees outside.
Yeah. Sorry, that was
our apologies.
that was like a unicorn just went through the parking lot. But one of the things we're going to do is we have a back meeting room back here, and I'm actually going to get an analog stereo system, receiver. I got my turntable will be here today, some speakers. And we're going to set that up. So if anyone wants to just go back in the room and chill to vinyl, we'll have some vinyl back there. They can put it on and just chill out in that room. And then on Friday nights is when we take it, pipe it through the whole building. So come in for an analog experience.
Yeah, let's check it out. That's going to be nice and expensive little setup. I like that.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so where are we? We have new and old back in stock done. Analog done. Fathers in Finance, let's talk about that. That's tonight at 7 o'clock. Chun Collins is bringing in a crew.
Yeah.
He's part of the group that was in here on Thursday.
Yeah,
and
Matt
also
Zapala's team, the Cigars, Wealth, and,
Yes.
or Cigars, Whiskey, and Wealth.
Wealth and Whiskey.
Wealth and one of those.
CWW.
Hey, look, as long as you smoke a cigar and drink whiskey, you're probably going to get rich. That's
And
basically the moral of the story.
That was my takeaway from the evening.
That was mine too.
That was a great group of guys who came in. It was Matt Sapala. That guy can hold a room. He can hold. He
can hold a room, and it was very kind. He actually gave us a nice little legacy award.
Your name's on it.
Well, I started it, but you guys are the legacy. But it was very kind of him, because his fatherhood was a very important part of what he's doing, and or his messaging, as part of his mission, and gave us this nice little reward. So, thank you for that, Matt Sapala.
Larry Adams is now calling you Radio Shack.
Why? Oh God. Oh, God. From the #1 Gurkha fan in America. There you go, Larry. We're even.
But on the heels of Matt Sapala this evening in Fuselage at 7 p.m., Chun Collins is going to have about 30, 35 guys in there talking fathers and finance. It'll be a great opportunity to come in, grab some tickets for it. I can find the link somewhere here.
Yeah.
It might be sold out, but come on in and try it. And if not,
I'm excited.
just hang out with us regardless.
And Chun is part of that, of what Matt does, kind of an offshoot. But if you're a father, you know you need to finance everything because your kids will break you.
Yep.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
They sure will. Check out member groups. Membership is rocking and rolling. But I think I don't think we're missing anything.
Well,
right now. We do have strap hanger.
What the hell is a strap hanger?
Well,
anyway?
a strap hanger, I'm glad you asked that.
All
because a strap hanger is someone that back in the, 30s and 40s with the double-decker British buses, they called a bus rider a strap hanger.
Because they actually had leather straps that they hung on to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, Principal Cigars had a cigar called the strap hanger. It might still be in the rotation. I don't think so.
I don't think so,
I
but
think they discontinued to reblend.
in classic Darren Chaffee fashion, he would wrap around the cigar an original 1930s, 1940s British bus ticket that was wrapped around the cigar.
That's right.
So that had that tie-in to the whole strap hanger thing.
And he will be re-releasing that cigar July 17th here, and his better half, Yulia, will be with him. It's been too long since we've seen him. I guess it's only been a handful of months, but it feels like an eternity. Darren will be back in the building. We'll be doing some fun things with that. We'll have live entertainment for that evening, but we're going to find a way to make that multi-evenings.
Can I give you a little tease?
Yes.
And this is the first time you're hearing this.
Uh-huh.
So here's the tease. Jeremiah, Marifal, July.
That's not going to mean anything. See you
guys.
guys. Have a good Saturday.
That's awesome.
Do you like it?
That's awesome.
This thing is cool, right?
He's got a golf hat on.
I know. That's what I saw him immediately. I thought, okay, I'm going to show him this ripoff. I know where to find one.
Yeah.
So
Jeremiah,
Mirafel will be in July.
towards the end of July.
Okay.
And it would be around the release of their line. Mm-hmm. But we're working out the details, but the vision is he will be in the building. This is a guy you need to be to.
Yeah,
and
this
just
is
for somebody that appreciates what's going on inside a cigar like nobody else. Craig would. I mean, it's look. Sit in a room with Nelson Alfonso. Sit in the room with Luciano Morales. Sit in the room with Jeremiah Marifal.
Those are
Jeremiah Marifal's family has been in tobacco for 400 years.
Long time.
Long time. You think I bet you at about 200 years in, they figured it out.
I would say so.
Because it's going to take us that long to figure this shit out.
Well, that's right. We're only 8 years in. We only have about 192 to go before we figure this out. But they have had it together for 200 years. And he is, in the best way, an intense guy. The intensity in which he has a conversation with someone, you can just feel he is 100% pouring his soul into that conversation.
Yep.
I think I'm sure he lives in like a castle in Brussels. But
for sure.
This trip here might result in him building a castle here as well. So we may have a Frisco castle before too long. But this guy was, there are very few people I've seen you get this deeply connected with in such a short amount of time.
It was crazy. I think he's a hypnotist.
That
Was he doing a clock when we're?
putting
Because
on a
something
spell
happened.
on
Because
you.
I was mesmerized, but more importantly, we have a project that we're working on.
Yes.
That may or may not have 12-year-old Marifal tobacco in it.
That's right.
So, as we put all that together, you were walking down the aisle with Jeremiah and
This individual.
and Luciano.
That
Maya.
was that was worth going to the show
I'm
because
surprised it didn't start raining over the.
I watched him pull that off and dissect and go, yep, okay, this is it. Okay, what are you using here? San Andreas, all of this. And he's like, that's how you know they know what they're doing. I mean, he could identify his own tobacco from 12 years ago. I mean, he knew it all.
Yeah.
What's up, Reagan? What's happening? And Chris Bennington, thank you. First Friday in July, on July 4th, we have the largest fireworks show in DFW.
We do.
At a cigar lounge, full stop. And
Are
that's
we
it.
launching something on that day? Is there something that's happening?
We are going to be launching the Hooten Young Bourbon whiskey.
That's right. We're going to have the Hero Old Fashioned. American Hero Old Fashioned.
If you buy the Hero Old Fashioned, you will get a Hooten Young cigar, which
Yep.
is fantastic.
It is,
You'll
and
get
it will
that
be.
along with it.
It will be coming in a full all-out assault later on. But Norm Hooten, I had a chance to sit down with him. We've had some American heroes in here, but he's one.
one of them.
I went and watched Black Hawk Down after meeting him, and once I realized who he was, which was later in the movie, but throughout that movie, just a badass.
Okay.
I mean, badass. And
need to
it
watch
was
that
it was so good. So anyway, he's got his own whiskey that he's just now launching. So we've challenged our team to create this ultimate American Hero Old
It's
Fashioned.
going to be kick-ass.
Yeah.
It's going to be kick-ass.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I think we buckle it up there. I have to get ready for the 1 o'clock rental in Atabay, and then get ready. We have a full day today.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Well, we're out. We love you. Appreciate you.
Thanks for hanging
Don't
out.
forget to go hit your race gear at ICC at industrialcigars.co.
Just know that every dollar that you spend on cigars will go towards a kids go-kart racing team.
That's right. Yes. AKA my entire salary.
That's it.
That's it. All right. Well,
Look,
we're
my
out of
wife
here.
brought her car out.
Look at that. She's just cruising in the sun. She didn't even come close to hitting that curb.
No.
That wasn't
It's-
even. Look at that. Look how perfectly parked that was.
Yeah.
She's not going to hit Frank's car.
Well,
Well-
she caught the corner.
Well,
But yeah.
no. Look at that. That's a perfect park. All right. Well, with that, love you. We out.
See ya. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.